Hello everybody and welcome to this special edition of the Money Man. Why is it special, I hear you ask? Well, it's special because I'm going to be featuring coins. Now, I don't actually collect coins unless it's something that really takes my interest. Sometimes I pick up pieces from the Royal Mint, especially the war commemoration coins. I really love those. However, I don't really go into them because it's a completely different world and you need to learn about all the valuations and you need to hone in on the currency that you want to collect, and it's complicated. And for me, the potential of investment is just not as good as it is for banknotes, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. However, when I first came to Hong Kong, I did find a couple of the old colonial era coins in circulation, and it made me want to start collecting them just as a side hobby. And I actually made some interesting mistakes when I started collecting these coins, and it led to my journey onto banknotes. So what I'm going to do is show you a variety of different unique coins that I have in my collection from the colonial era of Hong Kong. And I'm going to start off with the earliest one, which is actually a fake coin, but there's a little story behind it. So I'll show you. Here it is. Now it's very small, so it might take the camera a bit to focus. Okay, there we go. So this one is a very, very small coin, and you can see it's got Queen Victoria on, but you can see it's badly worn, it's badly circulated. And if we spin it around, there is something that you probably notice. The orientation is wrong, okay? So if you spin it back, you can see, so we've got the head facing up, and then if you turn it around, everything is upside down, okay? So that tells me that's the first alarm bell. So I think that this is a fake. Now, it's been stamped or something like that. And the place that I got it from in Hong Kong is notorious for these fake trade dollars and stuff like that. And I only knew that, years after actually purchasing these. But it's very flat to the surface as well. There's nothing going on here. So that's the second warning sign. It's supposed to be a 5-cent coin from 1890, but you can see that this is definitely a fake. So very, very disappointing when I finally came to my senses and figured this out. And it just doesn't sound right either to me. So yeah, but I did buy it with another coin, and I believe that this one is real because you can actually feel the raised surface of the Chinese characters and of the English characters, and you can also feel the small dots that go around the edge and the interior of the coin. So this is another 5-cent coin from 1903, and you can see we've got the traditional Chinese characters in the middle there telling you that it's a 5-cent coin for Hong Kong, and on the outside we've got English obviously as well. So if we spin it around, now this one you can see because it's from 1903 we've got Edward the 7th, and it says King and Emperor because obviously at that time he was Emperor of India, as India was part of the British Empire, and that's what that is referring to. Very common on a lot of coinage throughout the British Empire to actually have King and Emperor written on the coin. So yeah. And this one is not too bad. You can feel the raised surface. Now again, it could be fake. I don't know. I'm not a coin expert, but this one seems to be much, much better. And I think, there are some things that make me slightly worried about it because you can see the thickness of the rim around the edge is slightly thicker than it is here. So that does concern me slightly. But yeah, I think this one is real. Again, if anybody knows in the comment section, let me know, because I don't want to be passing this off as a real coin when it is not. And again, we've got to remember that I did buy it coupled with what is obviously a fake coin. So, I've just got to put that warning out there. I'm not an expert, so, if I am misleading you on this, it's not intentional, and I do apologize. However, everything else I do have is real. Hooray! So, let's carry on. So the next one I have for you is a 5-cent coin from 1937. And it's in really good condition. So here it is. Now, I'll just give a moment for the camera to focus. There we go. So you can see now we've got King George the 7th, and it says King and Emperor of India. So it elaborates a little bit more because we've got more coin surface for them to actually write stuff on. And yeah, if we spin it around and look at the back, you can see beautiful design, very, very nice. Very similar to all the other coins of Hong Kong during the colonial period. They just have the traditional Chinese in the middle and the English on the outside. So yeah. And if I said simplified before, I do apologise. I meant to say traditional, but I may not have made that mistake. Anyway, let's carry on. So the next two I have are actually These are 10-cent coins. I've got one from 1949, which is right here. So really, really interesting coins. Again, the design is pretty much the same, but I'll show you a key difference in a moment. If we spin it around and look at the back, or the front, whatever, you can see we've got King George VI. Now, no more Emperor of India. And you probably know why, right? Because obviously, after the Second World War, the independence movement in India became pretty strong. And really, the British Empire couldn't say no to Indian independence because it was suffering economically from the Second World War. I mean, it's still not recovered from the First World War, really. And obviously the Indians had fought with great bravery in Malaya, Singapore. They helped fight in Hong Kong. They helped serve in Burma. They defended the Indian subcontinent portion of the British Empire from the Japanese, so we couldn't really deny them, really. And obviously there was a growing independence movement, a violent and peaceful independence movement in India. So by 1949, obviously, there was no more Emperor of India. So you can see they removed that from the coins, as they should have. But yeah, interesting. Now, the next one is from 1950. It's pretty much the same thing. Well, it is the same thing. Now, the key thing that I'll point out on these two coins is that you can see we've got this indentation that goes all around the coin. So that is an extra security feature that they added. And you will see this in some of the other coins that I will show you today. So yeah, interesting. Now, the next one I have for you is a 50 cents from 1951. And this one also features King George VI. And here it is. So very, very nice. This one's in pretty good condition, actually. I picked this up really cheaply. So you can see pretty much the same thing. Not too bad. And then we've got that indentation that goes all the way around. So nice coins, interesting coins. These are pieces of history. Absolutely, that's why I love them. And I really like the portraits of the reigning monarchs. So yeah. Now the next one I have is from the reign of Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth II. And most coinage was actually minted under her reign. So let's have a look at 1965. We've got a 5-cent coin right here. You can see I paid 25 Hong Kong dollars for this one. And a wonderful, wonderful image of Queen Elizabeth II. And if we spin it around, look at the back, you can see 1965 at 5 cents. So pretty much the same in terms of the design. You're going to see a lot of continuity in the designs of these different coins. Okay, now the next one I have is from 1974, and this is another 50 cent. So again, you're getting the idea. I'm going to speed through these because they're pretty much the same thing, and I don't want this video to drag on because very soon I'm going to show you some really interesting stuff. Not that this other stuff is not interesting, of course. So you can see a wonderful portrait of the Queen. Very, very nice. And you can see we've got that sort of raised surface that goes around the edge of the coin. But yeah, nice coins. I like these. So, now the next one I have was a coin that was only in production for 3 years. So they're not too easy to get hold of, actually. And here it is. Now, there are some design elements of this that are not very good. But this is a 5 Hong Kong dollar coin from 1978. Now, they first put these into production in 1977, and then they minted something like 12 million for 1978 and about 10 million for 1979, if I'm correct. And then they actually changed the design. Now, the interesting thing is this is a 10-sided coin, which was unusual for Hong Kong. And if we spin it around and look at the back, in my opinion, there's a design flaw with this. And the design flaw, the issue that I have with Hong Kong coins right up until this day is that they don't have numbers on them. Now, the reason why I think that's a bad thing is because you've got to remember that a lot of people will have been illiterate in Hong Kong. They would have been illiterate in Chinese, and they probably definitely would have been illiterate in English. So they would have had to recognize coins based on their shape. Now, okay, the shape makes it distinctive. However, when you're introducing an entirely new denomination of coin, it could be a bit of a problem. And this one doesn't actually have the number on it. Okay, so maybe illiterate people could still recognize basic numbers. Okay, numbers 1 to 10. However, these coins don't have any number on. They've got it in traditional Chinese, and it's written in the the written form of English, but there's no number. There's no numerical form. But we have got the wonderful crowned lion of Hong Kong in the middle, which is fantastic. And yeah, it's a really, really interesting coin. Now, why was this introduced? Well, it was introduced to replace the 5 Hong Kong dollar banknote, which is right here. You can see this is one from 1972. These are really cheap and really easy to get hold of. Very, very numerous. So they decided to discontinue the banknotes and just replace it with a coin. So that's what they did. So that's why you get this 10-sided coin introduced in 1977. And then, like I said, the design changed, and I'm going to show you that new design in a moment, or the design that was used to replace that one. But what I'm going to do is show you the coins that were used in circulation right up until the handover in 1997. So the next one I have is the 10-cent coin. So we're going to go down the denominations a bit. And this is the lowest value coin that you can still get in Hong Kong today. And you can see, interesting, because now they're putting the numbers on, okay? So it's a little bit easier for people to discern, what is the value of this coin. So if we spin it around, you can see Queen Elizabeth II. Very, very nice. I've got loads of these. I've got tons and tons of them. Literally, I've got this container here, which is just full of colonial era coins. So, and I've got more stashed away. So the next one I have for you is the 20 cent, and here it is. I've always liked the design of this one. Okay, from 1988. So you can see again we've got the traditional Chinese in the middle and the English around the outside. Spin it around. Queen Elizabeth II. Yep. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is the 50 cent. And here it is. Now you can see the old one, if we put it up here, or let me give you the Queen Elizabeth II version, put it up here, you can see that they changed it. So, given the inflation of the value of the currency, they obviously decided to put cheaper metals in the coins. So yeah, so it used to be like this, and then they made it like this. Okay, so this one's from 1990. You can see Queen Elizabeth II. We just put them up next to each other. Both 50 cent coins. Very, very nice. Yeah, the camera can't focus very well. Okay, so let's keep going. Now we're nearly there at the end. So the next one I have is the $2 coin. But first I should have the $1 coin. That would make sense. And here it is. So very, very nice as well. Turn it around. And again, we've got that crown lion right there. So this one's from 1989, as you can see. So we're getting close to the handover here. Remember, the handover occurred in 1997. And by this point, people knew that it was coming. So yeah. So the next one is the $2 coin. Here it is. Again, with the crown lion from 1975. So we're jumping around with the date a bit. Spinning it around. Quite nice. And the final one I have to show you is actually the $5 coin, which this design replaced that 10-sided coin that I mentioned a moment ago. And you can see they decided to go with a round shape. And you can see it's got the very large 5 in the middle, which makes it much easier to identify the value of this coin. So this one's from 1980, as you can see. If we spin it around, Queen Elizabeth II. And again, you've got that feature, which this one is quite interesting actually. Now, it's hard to see, but it actually says Hong Kong, and then it says, it's very hard to focus in on this, but it says 5, and then dollars. And then it's got written in traditional Chinese. Very, very hard to see. Apologies if you can't see this very well, but there we go. Camera doesn't like to focus in on this stuff. So yeah, so they added that nice, neat little security feature which continues to this day. So yeah, that's everything I've got for you today. Lots of coins. Again, I do pick these up, but I don't really buy them. I just pick them up whenever I find them in circulation. I found a couple the other day when I went to the shop. I always keep hold of them. So I'm kind of weird because I go through my coins and I'm like, yeah, Colonial. So I always try and keep hold of them. Because what they're doing is they're actually filtering them out of circulation. So the government has a scheme whereby you can take your coins free of charge and put them through this automated machine, and then they will give you back the money in banknotes or put it on your octopus card, which is sort of like an alternative payment method that you can use here in Hong Kong. Obviously, these colonial era coins are still legal tender, hence why I can still find them in circulation. However, as a collectible, they are becoming more scarce, and I think the prices will go up according to that. However, there are a lot of people that do collect them in Hong Kong. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this has not been too slow, but lots of interesting coins. Let me know what you think of these down in the comment section. I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. It's the Money Man signing out for now. Bye-bye.